Please like my videos, please subscribe to my channel, and please press the bell icon so that you get to know when my latest video has come. And to learn more and to find a video relevant to you, please do check out my videos list.
Hello, Namaskar and Adab to all my friends from your friend astrologer and guide Irfan, once more with you from your very own channel Astro Assurance. When we look at our planetary placements in the horoscope, and when we look at what are planets which are well placed and what are able to give us better results, we focus on the beneficiaries or the benefic planets more, and we also tend to look at, are the malefics influencing the beneficial giving tendencies of the benefics and to what extent. So we try to do a searching of whether we are able to attract auspicious results and how much of the auspicious results are taken away by the malefics. And in the line, many times various shlokas tell us that the luminaries sun and moon stand out against all the planets. And shlokas in the Brihat Parashara Hora Shastra say that if these two luminaries, sun and moon, are very well placed and strong in the horoscope, then life is more or less sorted, even if all the other planets are not being friendly to you, beneficial to you, or being placed well. Just by virtue of the sun and moon placed well, a lot of issues and challenges can be taken care of. But why is it so? The reason is that sun is the soul, and we have come into this world for the soul's purpose and not the physical body's purpose. And the physical body is just a vehicle for the soul to traverse its journey. But shlokas also say that the soul goes where the manas goes. And what is the manas? What is the mind? The mind is nothing but the moon. And the mind is strongly connected to the heart, because moon signifies both the mind and the heart. So in effect, what we are being told is that the luminaries are most important. However, the journey of even the soul is guided by the mind. Wherever the mind goes, the soul goes too. And in that line, we are different from all other animals who live by instinct. Even the motherly love and affection of animals is instinct in their systems. And so a mother animal trying to protect its litter or its kittens is by virtue of instinctively built into its system. However, human beings are given the choice of thinking, and hence we are also judged, because we have been given the power of thinking and to make the choices. But without the ability to think, we can't make our choices through analytical reasoning, and we cannot have the wisdom given by Jupiter. So even Mercury and Jupiter are at the behest of the mind and the moon. So on one side, the soul is depending on the moon. On the other side, your logical reasoning, your wisdom is also depending on the moon. So in that way, moon becomes the most important planet in the horoscope. I have done another video where I have described why the moon is very, very important in the horoscope and for what reasons. This video that I am making is about how the moon can be used, or the mind can be used to handle various challenges in our lives and attract abundance, attract the kind of result that we want, and how through one planet a lot of other things can be corrected and brought on track, and even attract auspiciousness, even attract better results. Firstly, while the shlokas say that the sun and moon are most important luminaries, and out of these soul follows the moon, and so in that effect moon becomes most important. However, you look at the placement of the moon in the zodiac. So while we say sun is the center of the solar system and all the planets revolve around it, however, when you look at how they are arranged, so if sun is arranged first, then come Mercury and then Venus, and then after Mercury and Venus comes the earth, and moon revolves around the earth. So after sun, then Mercury, then Venus, then moon comes out of the planetary entities. After moon comes Mars, then Jupiter, then Saturn, which means that moon is in the center of the solar system. At least the 7 planets which are taken as part of the Vedic astrology system, then sun, Mercury, Venus, 3 planets one side, then the moon which revolves around the earth, and then Mars, Jupiter and Saturn. So in that way, out of the 7 planetary entities, the moon is in the center of the solar system. Though all the planets revolve around the sun, but in the hierarchy, first comes the sun, second Venus, Mercury, then Venus, then moon, because of being the satellite of the earth, and then Mars, Jupiter and Saturn. So moon is in the center of the planetary entities. And this is not by chance. There is a certain reason why moon is placed there. Firstly, as we said, the 2 luminaries are most important, but even sun traverses the journey of where the mind goes, and that's why in fact the ancient shlokas looked at earth being the center and everything else revolving around it, including the moon, because earth is where life is, earth is where we will be judged, earth is where human beings live, and earth is where, from whose perspective, the planetary entities are seen and the manifestations are seen. However, what is closest to the earth? It is the moon. And so after sun and Jupiter, which are 2 light givers, sun by virtue of giving us light and energy, and then all vegetation and animals are possible because of sun's light. Jupiter by virtue of pulling away all the meteorites and comets and other asteroids which are trying to strike at the earth. Jupiter pulls them away with its gravitational energy and allows life to happen, so it's called the Jiva. So these 2 planets are very, very important. But moon is critical for life on earth also, because in one way, moon's pull on the earth, which also causes tides, because of the tides and the high tide and the low tides and the energy of the sun's light reaching in the shallow regions of the ocean. Life came about first through evolution, through the protozoan life, as science tells us. And so that's one part of life coming in by virtue of moon's pull on the earth. But the other thing is, moon's gravitational pull on the earth also ensures that the earth does not wobble on its axis and remains more or less stable and stationary, because of which seasons are possible, and because of seasons agriculture is possible, harvesting of crops is possible, and so life and then progress of life is possible. So if you see, after the sun and Jupiter being very important life givers to the earth, moon is very, very important. However, to human beings, moon becomes critical. See, everything has life, animals also have life, but what puts us apart from animals is the power to think, and in that manner moon rules supreme over all the other planetary entities, because moon gives us the reasoning, gives us the power to think, and gives us a heart, gives also our emotions, because of which we can also do the right or the wrong, being pulled in the yin and yang. So earth is in the center of the solar system, and moon revolving around the earth and being placed on with 3 planets on either side, moon becomes the critical planet in the center of the solar system. The other reason why moons becomes very, very important is because what are Rahu and Ketu? Rahu is the north node of the moon and Ketu is the south node of the moon. So you have north and south of moon occupied, and to the left or on one side of the moon you have Sun, Mercury and Venus. On the other side of moon you have Mars, Jupiter and Saturn. So moon is in the center of both Rahu and Ketu, and in the center of the solar system's planetary entities. And so moon becomes a very important and critical planet for its manifestations. The other thing that if you see from the perspective of moon's placement, moon rules the 4th house, and the 4th house is also Kendra house, but it is equidistant from the Lagna, which is you, and from the 7th house, everybody else. And so moon in a way being equidistant from the Lagna, so your heart and mind, which moon is equidistant from the Lagna, which is you, and the other. So moon gives you the balance between what you want for yourself and how you treat others, how you relate to others, between yourself and relations and ability to deal with others. But what is opposite of the moon, opposite of the 4th house, is the 10th house of karma. So karma becomes critical, and mind's complementary energy of the mind is karma, which means moon's energy given to you is to do your karma, to do your duty, to do your responsibility. But if you go back to moon's position, you see on one side of the moon you have sun, which is a malefic, and then two benefics, Mercury and Venus. Then on the other side you have Mars and Saturn, two malefics and one benefic again, which is Jupiter. So on one side you have two benefics and one malefic, and the other side you have two malefics and one benefic, which shows that for balancing of Mars and Saturn, the energy of Jupiter is very, very important. Jupiter tries to balance the malefic energies of Saturn and Mars on one side of the moon. The other side of the moon you have Mercury and Venus, which are beneficial planets, benefic planets, but they are also controlling the arrogance of the sun, the high pride that sun can give you if you don't showcase the ethical journey of the soul, but you are going on a tangent where you become over focus on yourself, on your pride and your respect, and you give yourself more importance than the other, then sun can become a very, very strong malefic in your life. So sun is anyways a natural malefic. However, sun is a friendly planet to the three important entities, which are Mars, Jupiter, and also to the moon itself. So sun being the soul and also being friendly to Mars, Jupiter and moon is very, very important, because soul is important to Mars, which gives you the purpose of life, Jupiter, which is prosperity, abundance, and a savior in a certain way. I have also made a video how Jupiter can be a jiva and a savior of various results in a horoscope, and to the moon, which is the mind itself. Whereas the other planets, if you see, Rahu with moon gives it an eclipse. It's a very, very bad dosha. Saturn with moon is a vish dosha, is a poison dosha as it is called. And Ketu with moon is also in an eclipse. Even Mars to an extent with moon gives a Chandra Mangal yoga, which is also tougher yoga to balance. It's almost like a semi yoga and a semi dosha. So moon is balancing, or the mind balances on one side the arrogance, the pride and the materialistic nature which Venus gives you, on the other side the purpose of life and the karma itself by virtue of Mars and Saturn. So the responsibility which is given to the moon is huge. The responsibility given to the mind is to be able to balance between the soul's journey on one side, sun being the first planet, and karma on the other hand, Saturn being the last planet among the 7 planets in the Vedic system. So very, very important that moon or the mind is able to balance between what you want for yourself, your pride, your self-respect, but what you need to do, your karma, which is represented by Saturn, which means moon is given the responsibility of balancing between how much you are asking for yourself as self-respect and standing for your self-respect, but also doing your duty and your karma, because you are in this world to do your duty, your responsibilities, and not to fight ego battles with others, not to get into personality difference with others, not to lose your soul's journey, but to be able to carry on with the purpose of life. And so moon's placement as a balancer between Sun, Mercury, Venus on the one side, such a powerful balance on one side, and Mars, Jupiter and Saturn, heavy bodies on the others. Mars is the most strong malefic. After that, Saturn and Jupiter is the biggest planetary entity after the Sun. So moon's job is to balance between these two and balance between Rahu and Ketu's energy. So moon's job is cut out, and hence moon's placement in your horoscope becomes very, very important. And how do you use moon's energies? How do you use moon's responsibility of offering support to others, nurturing others, being empathetic to others, understanding others, while still taking care of your materialistic requirements, because moon also rules the 4th house, which is the house of all sorts of conveniences, all sorts of material resources that you can collect, what you can gather. Now moon gets debilitated in the 5th house from its Mool Trikona sign of Cancer, and it gets debilitated in the sign of Scorpio. However, how can a planet get debilitated in the 5th house from itself, whereas the 5th house is the house of gains, which means that moon's debilitation in Scorpio is a test whether you are able to overcome the obstacles, the challenges, the issues, the problems created by the 8th house energies, by the darkened energies of Scorpio, and your moon is still able to illuminate itself, or you drown, or your mind drowns because of the challenges and issues. So moon's placement 5th house from itself in a debilitation zone is more of a test whether you can rise above the challenges and issues and be able to still provide succor to others, provide support to others, provide the motherly affection, or trying to be supportive to others. So if you are able to do, then the gains come to you. So if you have moon in Scorpio, yet you are able to handle the tribulation, the obstacles, and still be able to control your emotions, you are able to control your mind, you are able to control how your mind manifests, then the situation turns around. I have seen many people with moon in Scorpio yet being able to get fantastic results, and it becomes a very research oriented placement when moon goes into Scorpio, or moon goes into any sign in the 8th house, may bring in very good results. In fact, moon can do very well in a good sign, a friendly sign in any of the dusthanas. And if you see, moon is the only planet which gets exalted in the 11th house from itself, which is a very important thing. A planet which gets exalted in the 11th house from itself, or sign from its Mool Trikona sign, which means moon is truly living the value of the 11th house placement or the 11th placement. And in the sign of Taurus, which is also a sign of values and ethics and family and responsibilities, yet of your livelihood and your savings. So the best results moon can give you in Taurus when you are sticking to your ethics, you're sticking to your values, you're sticking to the family traditions, yet focus on being able to get a livelihood, yet able to get your savings, and yet be able to nurture the 4th house of material resources. So in a way, moon gives you both. Moon gives you the best of both the worlds, and that's why moon is the supreme balancer in the horoscope. Moon gives you the materialistic cravings and the prosperity and the abundance, but on the other hand, moon being exalted in Taurus, moon also gives you the ethical mind. Moon also gives you the justification and the balance between the right and the wrong, and the ability to think, and hence separates you from the animal kingdom. So moon being the balancer supreme, it is up to you how you use the energies to balance the challenges and issues on the one side of your horoscope, and the prosperity and the good result that you may expect from your life. So in any tough situation, the toughest of tough situations, if you become somebody who is more submissive, you are more accepting, yet you are grateful, and you wait and you are patient and you wait for the time, you are focused on your karma with the 10th house, which lies opposite the 4th house, which is the house of Saturn and the house of karma. If you continue to do your karma, if you continue to be patient, if you continue to work hard, which are Saturnian energies, yet you are good to the poor, the needy, and the downtrodden, which Saturn represents, then the 4th house results also come in, the abundance comes in, the prosperity comes in. So in the toughest of tough situations, if you balance your moon, which means balance the mind, keep your heart in order, be ethical, not take shortcuts, not try to crave too much for material resources, yet you stick to your values, to your ethics, then prosperity, abundance, and good results come to you. Karma turns out better to you, karmic debt is given, and you attract more prosperity and better results. So with the placement of the moon, it is about mind over matter. So in any situation, whatever the situation in your life is, try and control the moon energies, try and control your mind, try to breathe more, take in more oxygen, try to quieten your heart, try and focus on the positives, and if there are less positives, aim for the positives in your life, look forward to the positives. There is this book called The Secret, which means if you are able to think positively and you focus your energies on the positive things in life, then more positive things happen to you. And so it is called mind over matter, which means if you focus on the more positive things in life, more positive things happen to you. If you're always upbeat, you're always smiling in the toughest of tough situations, yet you're ethical, yet you're supportive, yet you're caring for others, then life becomes easier for you. Even if life is not easier for you, you will pay off your karmic debt and you will help the soul elevate, because the soul goes where the mind goes. So guys, look at your placement of the moon in your horoscope, try and get better results from the moon, try and be more emotionally balanced, try and be more patient, yet being more supportive of others, yet being submissive to the will of the Lord, yet being grateful, and you will find sooner than later more peace will come to you, more abundance will come to you, more auspicious results will come to you, and your karmic debt will be released. So friends, like this video, share this video, and if you're looking for a personal consultation from me, please reach out to me at the links given below. Until some other time with some other video, this is your friend astrologer and guide Irfan signing off.